I ask a lot of questions and I encourage anyone that's doing asset management. If there's something you're not real clear on, either from the property management or from the GP or from the lender, ask those questions. You need to understand. People think if I'm the asset manager, I don't really answer to anyone. I'm responsible. And that is true. You are responsible, but you do answer to the property management. You work with them on the budget to make sure that you stay within budget. You work with the GP to make sure that you're executing the plan that they put forth to their investors of how they're going to increase this property. And then the other boss that no one really talks about is the lender. When you have a loan, the lender is going to tell you a certain number of things that you need to have done. And you have a timeline, 3 months, 6 months, a year, depending on, if it's life and safety. I don't remember what it's called, life and safety something. You have 3 months. That's like a crack in a concrete sidewalk that has to be fixed. That could be a huge liability. So you have to make sure that all of those things get done and you have to answer to the lender. So every property, I have a CapEx tracker where I have listed what we're going to do on that property. What is the priority of it? What's the timeline? I require 3 bids. I take those bids before the GP. I give them my recommendation. They decide what they want to do. I take that to the property management, and then I hold their feet to the fire because now they get to do whatever that CapEx is, stay within the budget and within the timeline. So I have trackers that let me know where I'm at all times with my CapEx, not only in what we're doing, but where are we in the budget, because we don't want to overspend our CapEx. We have this property for 5 years. We have to make sure we have the funds that we need. So I think sometimes people don't set themselves up with the information and give themselves their own schedule to make sure like we're on time with what we need. And then you have the property management, you're working with them. I talk with them every week, unless it's a property that is running really well. Then I just get my weekly reports and I maybe will meet with them every other week. But honestly, I only have one property that I do that on. All the rest I meet every week because I have to watch the vacancies. I have to watch the delinquencies. I want to hear what's the marketing? How is it going? Do we need to do additional things? Part of asset management is gathering information and getting it compiled into one place so that you have all of that together. I have an asset manager report that I can send to the GP at any time so they'll know where we are at the properties. But I just think the mistakes is not getting their systems in place. And honestly, you don't want to wait. Then you're behind the 8 ball. Like I said, I like to be involved in the beginning. That helps me to know where we are in the process. When we're acquiring a property, I watch the rent roll and the T12 very closely because I want to make sure that they're keeping residents in. And then I watch the T12 to see what's going on with the expenses. And if there's a variance, it doesn't mean that it's bad. Sometimes people think, oh my gosh, they spent more money or something dropped really low. Just because they're a variance, it isn't bad. What a variance is a question. What happened? What did we need to do? We had repairs and maintenance. It went up. It was $3,000 more than what it normally is. Why? Well, we had to take down a tree. It was very close to the building. Whatever the reasons are, as long as you know that, then you can work through that and you just add that with your budget. You're going to have to account for that later. But I just think people don't put up their systems that they need to be successful.